Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring Necrobiotic. This role-playing game is one of the more unique RPGs that I have seen in several years. It is quite the artistic experience, it is very immersive, but it is also quite fun. The system itself is based on deck building, but you also have some heavy philosophical themes. Okay, let's start talking about the quality of the PDF because this role-playing game is truly overwhelming. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, when it comes to the quality, there are many good things about it, but I do have two criticisms. The first one is that this document doesn't have bookmarks or hyperlinks. This is somewhat of a thick book, 224 pages long. So it's definitely going to be a bit challenging to move through the entire PDF, but that's not all. I wish this document was optimized because unless you have a good computer, not even a decent computer, you need a good computer to run this PDF, to scroll up and down the PDF effectively, because otherwise it's going to stutter. So because of the lack of bookmarks, the lack of hyperlinks, and because the document could stutter unless your computer is good enough, it's not going to be exactly easy to navigate this PDF. Now let's talk about the good things about the quality. This document is beautiful. It is a masterpiece, a work of art. The illustrations, the graphic design, the layout, the font itself, everything pulls you into the setting. It is so alive. The textures, the shapes, the colors. And despite some of the illustrations being somewhat different in style, some of them being more surrealistic, some others look like they belong in a high-quality graphic novel, and some of them look like they came out of a superb, masterful children's book, the entire document is exquisite. One of the most beautiful RPG books that I have seen. And the writing is perfect, perhaps you could say flawless. Being dry and formal when needed, or tongue-in-cheek when it is required, everything is well written and explained. So overall, when it comes to the quality, the only negative thing about this is the non-efficient way of navigating the PDF because of the lack of bookmarks, hyperlinks, and because the document doesn't look exactly optimized, but everything else is great. So you could say that the quality is good with some caveats. Now let's talk about the contents. I will try to avoid spoilers, but I will have to spoil a few things so that you get a better sense when it comes to the setting. But you definitely need to enjoy this by reading it on your own. The book starts with a story, very well communicated by using full-page illustrations and just a bit of text. It really gets you to think about being alive, the fleeting moments of life, how sometimes people forget the value of life. This experience, you only live it once. You can come up with all sorts of theories concerning the afterlife, so-called paradises and such, but nothing is really certain. You need to value your experience in this planet. You need to value every second, every nanosecond of your life. And this is communicated so well, so beautifully, so tragically or mournfully at the same time. The initial story leaves you with many answers, but even more questions. Now after that, you have the experience, the narration of a non-player character within this game world. At first, because of the powerful narrative, I didn't know if the author was talking to the reader, that is, I thought that the game designer was talking to us. In a way, the designer is talking to us, but this is actually the living experience of a character within the fictional setting. So the words are so profound that they actually make you think as if you are reading something related to real life rather than fiction. So you have a good sense of what is happening here. Mankind is on the verge of extinction. Ever since the 2020s, there have been many deaths and very few births. And the so-called greatest minds of mankind are struggling to come up with a reason as to why this is happening. So this is an apocalypse that happens with a whimper, not a bang. Everything seems going into absolute entropy or decay, and people don't know what to do. Let me read a few of the sections of the timeline. In the year 2022, free healthcare for pregnant people, babies, and children. But in 2023, panic begins to spread across public opinion. Health and social assistance programs for pregnant people, infants, and children for third world countries occurs. Then, protests flare up. The recession is attributed to excessive investment in research. This happens in the year 2027. There is a conflict between globalists and localists. You also have the Luddites with their presence, especially noticeable in 2028. They start to protest against technology. There is total chaos. Some people do not trust technology because it has been used for evil and nefarious purposes. But others go the other extreme. They want to go back to a certain tribalistic caveman lifestyle. In 2033, policies preventing experimentation on human cloning dissolves, leading to exponential increase in human cloning experimentation. Protests against cloning are reaching levels of civil war in many states, complete collapse of international finance. And these are just a few of the many situations detailed in the timeline. After that, we have information on a very controversial scientist, Dr. Elisabetta Gori. She starts to develop a method to create walking corpses. She takes corpses and through a somewhat complicated procedure involving what appears to be the stockpiling of oxygen to keep the musculoskeletal system going for days without the need for breathing, accomplishes the unthinkable, the creation or production of Frankenstein type of individuals. They even have computerized brains. So the dead are being taken and given a new purpose through this unethical but potentially necessary scientific endeavor, according to certain people. Science is given free rein, or rather the science of certain individuals. A citadel of sciences is created, and many cities try to follow its example. All of this happens mainly in Florence, Italy. And while Dr. Gori and other scientists are distracted, a new society is created, a group known as the Society of Builders. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to take a look at more details concerning the setting, especially this Society of Builders. So as you can see, a very powerful setting, and this role-playing game, I can tell you right now that it creates an amazing balance between fun and deeper and more profound themes, philosophically challenging themes. So it truly strives towards an Epicureanism that is both a pleasure and a melancholy for the mind, especially considering current times, when the lives and health of many people are at risk, and in many places, the numbers of dead people are truly overshadowing the number of birds on this beautiful planet. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.